How long was it from when you first heard hip hop until when you first started like making? Well, I know you made the pause tape beats.
Hmm.
You know, when did that actually start?
Uh, okay, so I guess when I first started making beats was way after. Yeah, that's an interesting question. I was a DJ. I started off as a DJ, and I was a DJ for the longest, and I would say really until I got to college. Um, and started hanging around. I went to SUNY Westbury, which
Uh
is a college in Long Island. And the thing about the college, very interesting thing was when I was coming in as a freshman, Kumo D was a senior, I believe, at the
huh.
time.
Okay.
He was at the school, and so was DLB from the Fearless Four.
Uh huh.
I didn't know them. They were older, and I think they actually were older guys even in school at the time. Like they guys that went back to school. But I'm a 17-year-old kid coming in to school, and I was hanging around with my crew. One of the people that I was hanging out with was Diamond D.
Okay.
Diamond D went to SUNY Westbury. A lot of people he doesn't talk about that much, but he went to Old Westbury as well, and we used to hang out a lot. Between him and seeing him DJing, because I had stopped DJing for a little while, him DJing and kind of got me back into hip hop, and the people that I was seeing on campus got me back into hip hop because it sounded more like what I had heard on those tapes. A lot of
Hmm.
the records, even some of the Run DMC stuff, to me, all great stuff, but it didn't have the raw appeal of that stuff from the tapes. When I started hearing the stuff that Diamond D was working on, and getting introduced to some of the radio stations that were playing hip hop, and
Yeah.
this is around the time when KRS-One, BDP started learning about That's the Public Enemy. That brought me back in to hip hop because this felt like what I knew, the angst, the
From the
energy.
tape.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just
Yeah.
it just felt good. And I kind of skipped over something. When I was in high school, I was in a heavy metal band. So I went
Oh.
from DJing, into when I got to high school playing drums in a heavy metal band. And that really connected me to raw stuff. I like the raw
Yeah.
music.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. So like groups like Metallica, Slayer, this was the stuff I was checking out in high school. So when I heard Public Enemy, Boogie Down Productions, that to me felt like the angst of the
Yeah.
heavy
Almost
metal
like
stuff.
heavy metal, but
Yeah,
for hip hop.
yeah, yeah. So it connected me back to my hip hop roots that I kind of broke away from. And that was so your question. So that really got me back into the idea of hip hop, and I made my first beat. I remember what it was. It was a pause tape beat. Went back to the pause tape of Sister Sanctified
Uh
Break,
huh.
and I combined that with Proclamation of the Wicked, which was a rock band called Celtic Frost. So I blended
Okay.
those together. That was my first beat. I was somewhere around 18 years old when I did that.
Okay. Okay. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.